bouncing between, big, huge mainline Yakuza games, or Like a Dragon, as it's now known. I feel old calling it Yakuza. We're due for Like a Dragon 9, but the next thing we know that they're working on is Project Century, which is that brand new thing that got shown off at the TGAs.
Right.
It takes place in Japan in 1915.
Yeah.
It definitely looks like one of their games, but it's clearly way more high tech. It's it's gorgeous. It's like also way more gruesome. Do you think we're going to see anything about that? Maybe.
I mean, we just got a Yakuza game 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
it feels like we get
so
one
yes.
very, very often. Yeah, we get one like every 5 minutes.
They put out like a big one, and then they put out a weird little one, and then
Yeah.
sometimes there's like a spin-off thing where you're like a lawyer who skateboards. Like it's just
Actually, that made me think. Do you think we'll get Virtua Fighter?
That's the other possibility, because they're also working on that.
Yeah.
which
Right.
is in the same engine.
Yeah.
Been a minute.
Although
since
that's really early. I mean, they barely even showed. It was barely even a logo drop, right?
Right.
It was just
They've shown a little bit of like gameplay for Virtua Fighter, but it was a non-official gameplay.
Right,
It was like this weird camera angle of just showing, hey, these are some of the things we're trying out with the new Virtua Fighter.
That was part of Sega was just like, hey, we're making new versions of everything you love. Bye. It's just like, well, like what? Like Echo and Crazy Taxi. They're like, yeah, all those ones, they're all coming back.
Yeah.
What about Billy Hatcher?
Did
we
they
don't talk
announce
about
Echo?
him.
Did I dream that? Did you tell me that's happening?
No, I think they said they're making a new Echo.
Yeah,
They're doing
because
Echo.
that was when they dropped the Shinobi thing. And
Yeah,
then they were
yeah.
like, it's coming out any day now.
Yeah, there was a bunch of logos. They're like, also a bunch of new games from these old.
And there's going to be like a Crazy Taxi live service game or something like that. It's lots to work with there. So I'm excited about that. It would be cool to see really anything from Capcom or Sega. One game that we got revealed back in February was Tides of Annihilation. You remember this one?
Yeah, Tides of Annihilation.
Yeah.
This is the King Arthur
Yeah.
weird one with the alternate dimension thing, right?
Yes.
Very Devil May Cry kind of looking
Yeah.
action.
Yeah.
Fast paced. All
Looks
about
slick.
the parries.
Yeah.
My kind of game.
Into it?
My kind of
Yeah.
game. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, I love a good kind of magical realism type thing, and this is like London, but it's also Arthurian fantasy, and then there's giant platforming or something along those lines. It seems pretty cool.
Yep.
I think
There we go.
yeah, I want to say that this had a 2025 release on it, or maybe it was 26. Yeah, I don't know. I'd be cool to know when this is coming out. It's sort of an unknown studio, so I'm skeptical, but also curious, because it is totally something we haven't seen before. Yeah, there's like a bunch of games that are a lot from Chinese and Korean studios that Sony's been partnering with that we've gotten glimpses of that are sort of like Stellar Blade was one of them, for instance, and that came out, blew a lot of people away. And
Yeah, we've got Lost Soul Aside that's on the
Yep.
way. That was supposed to drop last month, but got delayed.
Yep.
So that one, there's a good chance we'll see some more of that, because I imagine they're gearing up for the new launch date. So very much looking forward to that one as well.
No, this fall is getting pretty busy, because we've got, August 28th, we've got Metal Gear Delta.
Yep.
And then August 29th, we've got Lost Soul Aside. And then September 4th, we've got Hell Is Us.
Another
The game
really
I
cool
always
one.
think is Death Stranding.
Yeah. That's the one that looks like if Death Stranding was a Souls-like and you had a drone.
Yeah.
and a lightsaber.
Yeah, and a lightsaber.
And a lightsaber, yeah.
I'm
Ready
interested in that
Player
one.
One.
It's
Dartboard
based a
ideas.
bunch on the Jeff Vandermeer's books, like the Annihilation
Yeah.
series, which I think is
I
going to
just
be
read through
cool.
those. Yeah, that's really cool.
They're awesome.
Yeah, they are really awesome.
Yeah, and this one again is like I feel like it looks like it's pretty far along. Like it seems like it's going to be ready. It's got a release date. I'm always just very skeptical of release dates right now specifically, because I think this is when a lot of studios kind of look at what they're lined up for the next that last 3-month stretch, and it's like, okay, do we kick this to November, or do we kick it into Q1 of next year?
I mean, saying Metal Gear Delta, Lost Soul Aside, and Hell Is Us all coming out within like 6 or 7 days from each other feels like a bad idea for someone, right? One of those games should budge.
But they really got their poncho physics down, huh?
Hey, ponchos have been all the rage since Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, this is going to have one of the most popular features of Jedi Fallen Order, which is hundreds of boxes with ponchos in them scattered around the map. Yeah, collect upwards of 350 different... I'm making this up. That's not true. But you do have a lightsaber and a poncho, so it's, I can see the comparisons there. Yeah, cool monsters there. That looks rad. Metal Gear. It's a big year for Kojima. We've got Death Stranding, which is Death Stranding, but like I think a lot of people are stoked to revisit Snake Eater with modern sensibilities, modern graphics. That one we've been waiting for a while. I remember that was supposed to that we got like a leaked release date of November last year.
Yeah.
And
There was the longest time where they had been committed to a 2024 release date, and we just kind of like looked up very late in the year, being like, "Hey, so is that still happening?" And then obviously it didn't. But no, it's on the way. I've been itching to replay this game for so long, and so this finally having a release date after like years of since being announced. I'm very excited for that because I'm tired of being tempted to start this game over again on one of the older consoles when I can just wait for the new one.
Was this the same year as RE4?
Originally,
Very close. I feel like.
Oh, and like the original release.
I think that was what? Was that 04?
Yeah.
Yeah.
04.
So this was 03 maybe. Anyway, but they both came out kind of very close to each other. Both, really wonderful installments in beloved series that have like the original stood the test of time, and then RE4 got this killer remake, and I feel like Snake Eater was coming along, and then they looked at like what the expectations are for a remake.
Yeah.
And they're probably like, let's tighten up the graphics in level 4. Let's really make this thing shine. And
3's sort of arguably the best Metal Gear.
Yeah.
I think
I don't. It's gonna be killer. Also, from what we've seen, they're keeping all the weird little extra bonus bells and whistles in there.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of afraid that they would, you wouldn't have like Ape Escape monkeys running around.
And I think
but-
what you just said is why they're going with Delta instead of 3, because I think if this works, I think we'll get maybe a chronological remake series from them. I think they'll probably release remakes in chronological order,
So we get,
which
like-
would put which one next?
Rectangle.
Rectangle would be next.
Metal Gear Prism.
Peace Walker 5, Metal Gear 1,
Yeah.
Metal Gear 2, Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 4,
and then they'll remake
for Vengeance. I don't know. Yeah, it's a weird series to jump onto, but I think there was some piece going around about how Konami found out that a lot of younger gamers don't know what Metal Gear is, so they're just
Right.
like,
Yeah.
what is this?
Yeah.
It's like, well,
Oh man, that's makes me feel old and depressed. But,
yeah.
hey, they'll have an exciting new chance to find out what Metal Gear is this fall,
Yeah.
Or will they?
or will they?
Or will they?
If it comes out and they buy it.
All right, so
And they
pie in
understand
the
it
sky
when they play it.
predictions, expectations. What's not what do you want to show up that's not going to show up, Brian? Let's start with you.
I was thinking of what they could port to PC. We were joking before we started recording today about, will they put Astrobot on PC, even though that feels weird and wrong and dirty?
Ooh, that would be really smart of them, though.
Like maybe sell a DualSense and it comes with a Steam code for the game, which again feels really wrong and dirty. That whole game is about building a PS5, which doing on a PC feels wrong and dirty.
That
but
seems
hey,
weird. I don't know. I don't
yeah.
get it.
So I guess that would be my weird prediction today.
Okay.
But I like what you were saying before about a Venom spin-off, like
Yep.
a smaller.
It's the equivalent of the Miles Morales sort of in-between
Yes.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be down for a Venom game.
I mean, although the second half of Spider-Man 2 was basically a Venom game anyway. But
Yeah. Yeah.
Jada, what do you think we're not going to see that you want to see?
I mean, I would love to see more Kingdom Hearts 4, but we know that's way too far out. We're not seeing that. Selfishly, I'd also would love to see the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy get a remaster for modern consoles, because that's trapped on the PS3 slash 360. You can play it on modern Xboxes, but I want to play it on my PlayStation, get my trophies again. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. We talked about so many things. I don't think we're gonna see the new BioShock. I don't think we're gonna see Judas. I don't think we're gonna see Bloodborne. Sorry.
30
Sorry.
minutes without saying the B word on Beyond.
That's what I
and
thought you were
did
going to
it.
say. And you were like Astrobot on PC, and I was like, not where I was
it's
going.
the
but-
10-year anniversary of Bloodborne
Yeah,
this year.
yeah.
Do something.
I don't know.
Poke with a stick. literally
Yeah,
anything.
just
Do
show it-
something.
put- sell that hat on the store.
I'm looking at chat. A lot of chat is wants Dino Crisis.
Yes!
Dino
Yeah.
Crisis would be a big one.
Oh my God, I'd be all over that.
there's some
there was the Bloodborne spin-offy thing that was renounced, right?
Nightbloods.
Yeah.
Nightbloods,
Dust
but that's
Bloods.
Switch. Duskblood. Sorry,
Oh,
I've
that's
been playing Night
that's
Rain.
Switch though, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Switch exclusive. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Final Fantasy VIII remake in chat.
Okay.
Final Fantasy in general, like we're still waiting for the final installment.
Yeah,
of
we might
the
get part 3.
FF7. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we know what the word is that they're going to call it? There's like, was it?
They
remake,
haven't
Requiem.
they haven't said yet what it's going to be.
Something that doesn't confuse people. And
Oh, it's going to confuse people. That's
Yeah.
the intention.
Yeah.
And they've already used a bunch of their best R words so far, so I
Okay.
have no idea what's left for them. But
Yeah.
they'll figure it out.
Yeah. I don't know. Are we going to see a Final Fantasy 17 before we see another remake?
Probably not.
I don't
I think
think so.
I think we get a remake next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, there's one rumor that's flying around very recently that we're going to see a 2.5D 2D God of War Metroidvania or platformer or something.
That was
That would be fun.
Set in ancient Greece, like a spin-off. Sure. If we see that today, I'll be very excited.
Yeah, I would love if that's a thing that Sony did, is just if we're going to have to wait until 2027 for a new Naughty Dog game, I don't know, maybe get a smaller studio to do something with like Jack and Daxter, or give us a you know, small Uncharted spin-off. Like basically what we're seeing with you know, Shinobi and Ninja Gaiden, where they're like, hey, here's a studio that clearly grew up with these games, making their own spin on that. I think that could be really fun. I hope the God of War thing is true. Yeah. It feels also very much like Prince of Persia and the Lost Crown.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah.
Give me more shorter games that are just really cool, tight experiences.
Have the Hades guys do it or something.
Yeah.
They're busy with Hades too. They're just trying to get that out
Yeah.
there. So, which I'm been playing too much of it in early access.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what other stuff.
What about you, John?
My wacky prediction.
Yeah, what do you got?
Gears of War Reloaded being shown on PlayStation before it's shown on Xbox.
Oh man.
That would be. I mean, we know it's coming to PlayStation, so.
Speaking of things
Like-
that just feel wrong.
Yeah.
totally, like, yeah. I mean, it could happen. Like the you know the solid lines or dotted lines on the highway now in the console wars.
I think it was for April, like the top 3 bestsellers on PlayStation were all Xbox. It was
Original.
Minecraft, Forza, and
Call of Duty, probably.
Sea of Thieves or something.
Sea of
Yeah,
Thieves,
Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, that's wild. And again, like where do you put that? Because people watching the State of Play presumably have a PlayStation, and they would be open to buying this game that already exists on the other thing. But does Sony, do they return Microsoft's calls when they're like, "Hey, we got a new trailer for Gears of War, we want to put on PS5"? I don't know.
I mean, if we got other crazy from Xbox, Halo, we get into Halo. Is Halo gonna make an announcement? Like that would be insane.
I guess. I mean, Xbox is doing a showcase thing on Sunday, but this is a PlayStation show, so we'll see what happens.
Well, I mean, that's the weird thing, is that a lot of it used to be like there would be the big, huge, you know, the big like first party, you know, press conferences. There'd be E3 to catch all the rest of the stuff, and now we're kind of being like, which bucket does this thing fall in? Like Microsoft's putting their stuff on every other platform. There's a bunch of stuff that's going to be at Summer Game Fest. Yeah, it looks like the State of Play is starting in just about 30 seconds. Friendly reminder, this weekend is IGN Live. Please come hang out downtown LA. You can go to IGN.com/live and use the offer code PLAY and get a deal on tickets. So check that out. The State of Play, I believe, is starting any second now, so we're going to switch over to that. But stick around here for the live post show right afterwards. We will be sitting right here. See you then.
I think that's going to be like the staple event. That's my guess. You can barely hear me over Jude's voice. That much better, right? I have to like up the volume. Kev, is that better? Barely! That better! Don't get that. Now I'm gonna blow your eardrum. Look at how, look it. I like it.
Emotion
It has to turn it down.
running through our
Like
veins.
you're at like half. Is that better?
Heartbeat,
Or like 45?
love is making waves. Emotion running through our
Is
veins.
that better?
Heartbeat,
Look
love
at
is
the
making
astronaut!
waves.
Hi, astronaut! I had my coffee. I had to drink some coffee before and I had to done some vegetables before we did the live stream. So I'm just doing this stream and then no stream tonight. I won't be live tonight later on because I have other things I have to do. Other priorities. So no Elden Ring tonight, but we'll be back tomorrow for Expedition 33. I think we're gonna try and eat some of that tomorrow.
Emotion running through our veins.
And then we'll carry on with Elden Ring.
Love is making
tomorrow
waves.
night. Blue means Aries? What is that? A gate? Never heard of it.
Hello from Enhance. I'm Tetsuya Mizuguchi. ディレクターの石原隆です。ルミネスアライズのトレーラー楽しんでいただけたでしょうか。
この秋 PlayStation 5 PSVR2 対応で発売予定です。リブネスアライズはバラエティ豊かな曲と美しいビジュアルが没入感を高め、いつまでも遊びたくなるゲーム体験となっています。その世界はとても心地よく、プレイヤーを共感覚の世界へと導きます。
まあよくある普通のパズルゲームってことだよね。テトリスエフェクトを一度遊んだことがある人はわかると思いますが、ルミネスアライズはただのパズルゲームではありません。
夏にシングルとマルチプレイの体験版を配信予定です。ぜひ皆さん手に取って遊んでみてください。
Thank you and enjoy the rest of State of Play.
They had some great discussion, like the pre-show.
The future. It isn't just a dream. It's a promise. One we're turning into reality. With our third generation of Luna filament and advanced generative AI, we're reshaping the line between dreams and reality. We create life for our future. Delphi Corporation.
What's that?
Let's see about getting passed through to Earth.
And why are these things trying to kill us?
Are they like
There you are.
AI robots?
All better.
Patch me up.
Mm-hmm.
Is this like Dead Space or something? Oh no, Capcom.
I am DI-03367. They are pragmatic creators.
Hang on a second. Don't you have a name or something? I'm good. Get behind me!
I think I can help.
Targets identified. Neutralizing threats.
Neutralize us?
Looks like we're gonna have to fight our way through. What the?
Bypassing first and second firewalls. Hooking control protocols. Initiating hack.
Pragmata? That looks good.
Hey, D.I.
I said I am DI.
Okay. Look, how about we call you Diana?
Diana?
Oh, hey, today is Saturday, which means curry time.
Awesome, I love curry.
Speaking of curry, apparently the current president is actually a humane. What does that mean? It's okay, I'll get it.
Curry time.
Romeo, stay with me.
Grandpa, I'm gonna die.
Romeo, listen up. You're gonna die in about 15 seconds.
Seriously?
Seriously, don't worry. I made this just in case. The dead gear life support system. Don't move, okay?
Yeah, so we're just live on YouTube.
You're already half dead. From now on, you're half dead man. No, wait, that's pretty lame. Dead man. From now on, you're dead man.
Romeo is a dead man. Coming 2026. Maybe.
Huh? That was Grandpa's voice. Are you like a spirit?
I'm on your back.
What?
皆さんこんにちは。グラスホッパーの役者の須田剛一です。いえいえ。皆さんトレーラーどうでした？グラスホッパーの久々の新作ロミオ・イザ・デッドマンです。いよいよ発表できました。このゲームはですね、主人公のロミオがロミオ・スターゲーザーという名前なんですけどかっこいいでしょ。時空犯罪 FBI 捜査官として、凶悪なですね指名手配犯をさまざまな時空に飛んで、倒していくそんな、ブラッティーなアクションゲームとなっています。そして今回はですね剣だけじゃありません、銃も使えます。ストロングスタイルのアクションゲームとして、チーム一丸となって頑張って作ってます。そしてなんで、タイトルがですねロミオなのにデッドマンなのか、それは皆さんぜひ続報をお待ちください。プレイステーション30周年過ぎちゃいましたけどおめでとうございます。それでは引き続きステートオブプレイをお楽しみください。
サクコ、どこ行くの？こっち通るの珍しいね。今は誰かと喋りたくて。私も後から行くね。じゃあね。裏切り者。
This looks good though. I like Hand Sickness too. I think it's gonna be a horror-based game. Oh, Silent Hill? App? No way!
足の悪いおばあちゃんまでいないなんて、こんなの絶対に変。俺もいないし、気味の悪い怪物がうろつき回ってるし。いや
Why is this Silent Hill app, guys? Anybody know? The contract? Oh my god, look at her. She's like, God, ew! She's all jacked up! Oh my god. Yeah, this is insane. Damn.
ひなこ、
Is she dead?
どこにいるの？
Or is she protecting her, maybe? You're like...
ひなこはいいよね。何でも持ってる。そんなあんたがいなくなってくれるんだからせいせいする。一人は嫌だよ。寂しいよ。
They look so creepy. Like, they look so creepy though.
約束したよね。暗いのは嫌。
I think it's like
一人ぼっちは嫌。
it's gotta be Oh my god, these guys devoured her. Oh no.
裏切り者。
No way. Oh, that's this year, September 9th. Hey, yo. Pre-ordered today. I won't be, but that would be another game I'd like to watch.
The castle has been sighted again.
Is this go?
The Church's orders are absolute. These human sacrifices must be stopped. We will track the ethereal castle, break its gates, and exterminate the creatures that dwell within. The Demon Lord himself will fall by our hand. This mission will test the limits of your courage. You will face horrors beyond your darkest imaginings. Beasts that defy reason. Creatures born of pure darkness.
Thousand Blossom!
Final game.
With me! Cross Reaper!
Tonight, we start our mission!
Is it Bloodstain?
So you've come, dogs of the Church, right into the palm of my hand.
The visuals of Shinjuku that I'm seeing are a hellscape I can't quite put into words. You've somehow been sent back in time 8 years. But the situation here is critical. I'm counting on you, Agent. Our ultimate mission is to uncover the causality between these anomalies.
It's probably a phase electron life form. Is that what you call us Digimon? I'll always be right here with you.
Who exactly are you working for? I remember you guys.
Who or what is that? You really don't know anything about the digital world?
We have been enemies for years now, but this is the first time the Titans have launched an attack on this scale.
We now believe most of the anomalies we've been dealing with stem from Digimon.
It seems the upcoming battle is truly unavoidable.
The world on this end is running out of time.
If the gate is opened with the digital world in such a state, the human world will most certainly be affected.
I never played
Do the Titans not care about the end of the digital world?
Stop it! That egg is very important!
The World Tree has been attacked.
It is just as the Great One, Plutomon, said.
It can't protect anyone. We must protect the world from them. For this purpose and this purpose alone were you born.
If that thing opens, then we'll be swarmed by Digimon.
Attack!
Please, everyone, lend me your strength.
Everything's riding on
to
you.
move forward into the
We
future.
must fulfill our mission. Agent.
Digimon story time. Great birthday. Got it. I usually like this company's games. Something epic returns.
Oh, Father, abandon not your wayward children of Ivalice, but deliver us from our sins, that we might know salvation.
If you feel wrong, blame yourself or the Father.
Why do you fight? Why walk this path of subterfuge and conflict?
The powerful must rule the weak. It is our duty. Heavens fall upon your crown!
This vile charade has gone on long enough. It ends now.
Final Fantasy Tactics.
Do you remember when your father showed us how to make a whistle of a blade of grass?
How did they stray apart? Classic and enhanced mode. Both versions are included. Wow. Pre-order today. Hi
Hi everyone, I'm Sean Benson.
And I'm Sid Schumann, here to deliver news and release dates for games coming to PS5 later this year.
We hope you enjoyed that first look at Final Fantasy Tactics: The Evil East Chronicles. The game will include 2 versions of the original PlayStation Classic. The enhanced version, which features improved graphics, fully voiced dialogue, refined gameplay, and much more, as well as the classic version, which brings a faithful recreation of the 1997 original to modern consoles. Final Fantasy Tactics: The Evil East Chronicles launches on PS5 and PS4 September 30th, and will be available for pre-order later today.
This next game is something really special. When I first played it, I laughed so hard I almost barfed. Let's check it out.
But is there maybe just toilet?
Toilet?
Yeah, I just need to pee.
How badly?
Just normal. Bad.
Just go behind this bush, I'll wait.
I can run away.
Pee shy?
No.
Yeah, no, you don't want me watching.
You can watch.
In baby steps, all you have to do is carefully place one foot in front of the other, which is easier said than done. Main character Nate requires some pretty deliberate movement to make even the simplest progress. It's a captivating open-world experience filled with oddball characters.
Here we go. Knock knock. Oh, no. You found it even without a map. The best toilet on the mountain.
Oh, good.
Definitely check this one out when it comes to PS5 on September 8th.
Hirogami is a unique action-adventure title from Bandai Namco Studios Singapore. In this journey to save your origami home, you'll transform into paper shapes with distinct abilities, including a paper airplane, a nimble frog, a hardy armadillo, and a powerful ape. Master the art of folding when Hirogami arrives on PS5 later this summer. Sid, why don't you tee this next one up?
Thanks, Sean. The Hot Shots series has been with PlayStation from the very beginning, and its latest installment, Everybody's Golf Hot Shots, boasts its largest character roster ever. Compete in courses from 10 different regions around the world, each with weather effects and new nighttime variants.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Pre-orders begin later today. And those who do will get Bandai Namco's iconic Pac-Man as an early unlockable character. Everybody's Golf Hot Shots drives onto PS5 September 5th.
No, who doesn't want a Pac-Man, cat?
Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is a challenging new entry in the long-running action franchise. From the makers of the Blasphemous series, Ragebound stars dual protagonists from rival clans, forced to combine their souls and skills against a demon uprising. And longtime fans will really love the pulse-pounding soundtrack featuring guest composers from the original series. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound arrives July 31st on PS5 and PS4. From the game bakers, Cairn is a survival climbing experience where you must carefully plan your ascent up a deadly mountain. Manage balance and stamina to discover secrets.
Hey! Hey, wait for me!
Encounter other climbers.
Marco. Nice to meet you.
And survive the harsh conditions of the climb. You can give it a try yourself with a demo that arrives later today. That's all from us, but there's still a lot of State of Play to come.
This next reveal comes from the game preservationist at Digital Eclipse. Nothing can prepare you for their next collection, arriving later this year.
We knew pretty early on that the game was fun to play, people were excited about it.
The most rewarding part of it is just seeing people react to it.
We knew that we were onto something.
It was such a shock to see this game. I was like, I can't believe this game exists.
I love the new one, by the way.
It became something that added to the mystique of Mortal Kombat.
We're showing you a part of a world that is much larger.
There was no template to make the games. It's a bit of the Wild West.
Every part of that game is an expression of who we were and what we wanted to do.
Flawless victory.
Let's do it.
Patrol here. We have evidence of an enemy intruder. Commence alert formation.
Acknowledged. Sending reinforcements. Use extra caution.
That guy? I know he's close. Where did he go? We've lost sight of the enemy. Find him.
I'll just have a gun.
We're under fire. Enemy position unknown.
Or was it like a map?
Loading like this? It's a revolution.
All right, Commander. Good, baby.
Take this! Here comes another one!
You won't get away from me!
Time for you to taste some real pain! What's the matter? I'm over here. Go back to your own world. See you in hell!
Uprise, you Ikagami!
What the?
Oh, Metal Gear Solid.
Gotcha! Gotcha!
Snake Eater?
Spirit stones. Shining stones imbued with humankind's never-ending dreams. Since time immemorial, this power has been the impetus for human wars.
Such an ominous atmosphere, and one thick with the presence of Aratama.
What makes a shogun? Here is my answer.
to have entered the depths of hell.
Nio. 3. Nice, chat.
Who might you be, warrior?
Oh, that's epic.
Tokugawa. Takechiyo.
Even though those games are so brutal, they're so good.
皆さんこんにちは、チーム忍者の安田です。戦国死にゲーシリーズの最新作「仁王3」をついに発表させていただきました。今作のアクションはシリーズおなじみの侍スタイルに加え、新たに忍者スタイルを追加、より多彩な戦闘を楽しめます。ステージもオープンフィールドとなり、探索や攻略の自由度や没入感が大幅にアップしています。本日よりPlayStation 5で体験版も配信いたしますので、ぜひプレイしてご意見をいただければと思います。2026年の発売に向け、続報にもぜひご期待ください。
No one knows how old the city really
Oh, this is VR.
For me, it's all I've ever known.
I've always wanted to get a VR thing, like a headset, but I'm like scared because I get like, speaking of vertigo, yeah, I don't get vertigo, but I get like motion sickness, so I was like, I think it'll
Free
just
to
be a
take
waste of
whatever
money
I
because I'll
need
probably never use it, like,
to survive.
not very often, which sucks, so. But I do love watching other people play VR games, like Princess Lottie. She played a couple of her games on VR.
This city hides many lost and legendary treasures.
And then I think there was somebody
locked away,
else,
waiting to be found, waiting to be taken.
All based on VR.
But some treasures come with more trouble than others.
I thought I was dead.
Ooh, thieves.
Who are you?
Legacy of Shadow. Ooh la la.
Tidewalker, are you there yet? Cleo has uncovered a formula for a cure, but she's keeping it safe in her tower.
Hey, you got some hosen?
Marketland seems a bit tense today. I heard something happen with another Tidewalker. Damn it. It's gone. Someone beat us to it.
Ever since the Great Flood, Elend, my dear planet, has been dying. Plastemia has taken everything from us. But you Tidewalkers are all connected.
Hey, you! Stop right there!
And it's up to you now to use that power.
Marauders! This is our new recruit!
Please, help me.
Get down!
Tidewalkers. Will you help us?
And games like this make it so much fun because they're like choose your own, right? Like choose your own ending, where you can like do a playthrough of like however you want, and then like say if you want to do like all the bad stuff or like all the good stuff.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Ducey, the game director of Astrobot. It's a pleasure to be back today to share more news with you. What the last few months it has been in the world of Astro. Astrobot launched last September to such encouraging feedback, even receiving a few honors we are truly grateful for. In October, we added 5 speedrun levels, followed by a Christmas special packed with festive surprises. And then earlier this year, the Vicious Void Galaxy made its appearance, adding yet more new challenging levels, all of which came at no additional cost. And today, I am pleased to announce that later this month, you will be able to enjoy 5 brand new challenge levels in Astrobot, bringing the total to a whopping 90 planets. And new special bots will be there too, including Atsu from Ghost of Yotei, alongside other fans' favorites, but these ones are a surprise. And finally, the Astrobot DualSense wireless controller will return later this year, with a slight twist, so be on the lookout for more news coming soon. From all of us at Team Asobi, thank you all for the amazing reception you gave our game, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Memories go, memories stay. Memories go, memories stay. Chasing the sound of the bass. It always plays, it always strays. That all blurs my day. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
My old man always said to me, he told me to get a ship. Then it hit me all so clear. No old man just got a ship. Memories go, memories stay, chasing the sound of the waves. It always sways, it always strays, standing on the beach all day. Whoa, 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 whoa.
This reminds me of like or like that. There was another game that got from all of my that was like Pirate Bay. This is a little bit different. Is that See in a Revenant? These games are always so beautiful. They have great detail in them. Swords of the Sea? Looks interesting.
Hi everyone, I'm Kristen Zatani. That was a new look at Sword of the Sea, a visually striking adventure from the team behind Abzu and the Pathless. We're excited to announce that Sword of the Sea will launch this summer into the PlayStation Plus game catalog. On June 17th, Remedy brings otherworldly action to game catalog with FBC Firebreak. In this cooperative FPS set in the paranatural world of Control, you and two fellow agents must confront and contain the reality-warping chaos found within the oldest house. Fun in short bursts or deep dives, FBC Firebreak launches day one into game catalog on June 17th. The PlayStation Plus Classics catalog welcomes several new titles this summer. The PS2 version of legendary immersive sim Deus Ex arrives June 17th. In July, Twisted Metal 3 and Twisted Metal 4 join the service just in time for the second season premiere of Twisted Metal, which arrives July 31st in select countries, including Peacock in the US.
Twisted Metal is my favorite.
Additionally, two of Capcom's most beloved games from the original PlayStation are set to join the Classics lineup. Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 will arrive later this summer in the Classics catalog. Additionally, Myst and Riven will arrive later this month as part of the Days of Play celebration, running now through June 11th. Days of Play is a 2-week event that includes bonus PlayStation Plus content drops, great deals on software and hardware, and more. Visit PlayStation blog and PlayStation.com for full details.
His parents cut their own rope to save him. He watched them fall, then found his way off that mountain. He was 11 years old.
He then started a grand tour of every major boarding school in Britain.
Always at the top of his class.
This is what you were telling
Always
me,
at odds
Harvey.
with authority. Same thing in the Navy.
His superiors all praise his instincts.
And they're all in need of early retirement. Nobody knows what to do with him, Mom.
No, and I suspect he feels the same way. But what he did in Iceland...
What he did in Iceland was insubordination. It was ill-disciplined, utterly reckless. He only survived thanks to blind luck. Give me one good reason to put him in the program, Mom.
I think you just covered them all, Greenway. It's really quite simple. Bond is a bullet without a target. Let's give him one.
Do you have an appointment?
The name's Bond.
James Bond.
James Bond.
He's with me.
And you are? Don't think we've had the pleasure.
Now let's not get ahead of ourselves, James.
So you shouldn't have.
We're facing a situation of the utmost delicacy. I need all my pieces on the board.
009 is a master manipulator. Whatever the endgame is, we won't see it coming.
Jet lag. Gets me every time.
She's not your friend, Bond. She's an asset.
With respect, Mom. To hell with that. Tell me, what do you do, James? Lately, headhunting.
You see it now? It looks good. That's gonna be a good game.
I suppose this is another teachable moment.
That kind of reminds me of like the Indiana Jones games a little bit too. Sign up to unlock the duty skin and the glide. I don't know.
Hello, I'm Hakan Abrak, CEO of Iron Interactive. The team is thrilled to announce 007 First Flight. You'll experience James Bond as a young air crewman in the Royal Navy. Before the tuxedo and the martinis, as he first steps into the world of espionage, striving to earn his 00 status. Everyone at Iron Interactive has poured their passion and dedication into crafting an experience that honors the legacy of Bond, harnessing our 25 years of agent expertise. This is just the beginning of our journey with 007. And we can't wait to share more with you soon.
Yeah, I think that'll be a W. That's gonna be like a hit. A lot of people are gonna be playing that game. Yodi! I already know, chat. This is what I'm looking forward to the most. And I don't even have a PlayStation. I really hope they bring it to
You're still with me?
Just saying.
自由のために戦う。さあ、お手並み拝見といこう。君のことは親友だと思っているが、やるしかないようだな。ビブラニウムのシールドだけでは私のアーマーには勝てないぞ。よし、本気でやるぞ。それ、くらえ。おい、頼むよ。耐えてみせろ。
任せてちょうだい。パンチ。私の名前の通りマーベラス。
親愛なるスパイダーマンだ。スパイリーセンス。今日もお見事大勝利。
俺とやり合うってか？調子が出てきたぜ。俺様の名はスターロード。胸に刻んでおきな。覚悟しやがれ。シュートベルト攻めまたげ。イーストロス流のスペシャルメニューお見舞いするぜ。いやベイビー。焼きして貧弱なる。やれ。
援護する。風よ、あれ来る。
たとえ人々に嫌われていても私は世界を守る。
さあ、耐えられるかしら。
正義のために。これが私のとっておきだ。こっちだよ。全てをやっ尽くすよ。
抱かれなさい。せや。
またなベイビー。
我々のチームワークは絶対に破れない。
マーベル、闘魂、ファイティングソウルズ。
That's cool. That's kind of peace. Yeah, I have to keep my eyes on. So calm, fighting soul. Uh-oh. Bahamut Japan. I want to go to Japan one day, I bet it's like a different way of living over there too.
プレイステーションの友人から急になんか飲みに行こうぜっていう連絡が来て、なんのこっちゃと思って、予定合わせて行ったんですけど、ちょっと飲んでる中で実はアクの方でマーベルの格闘ゲームを作ってみないかというような提案をいただきまして、いや本当に聞いた時はびっくりしましたね。で、世界的に本当に有名な IP ですし光栄だなと思いつつも、まず本当にうちの会社で大丈夫かなという不安もあり。
The inspiration for working on this project really came from a place of pure fandom and wanting to say, why isn't PlayStation in this space?
So PlayStation approached us with this vision to bring Marvel back to the forefront of the tag fighting genre. And that got us really excited because we had worked with them before on successful stuff like the Marvel Spider-Man franchise with Insomniac.
When it came to approaching Marvel, you have to kind of first float the idea and let them know, hey, you know, we're thinking about approaching a company like Arc System Works to make a fighting game. We'd love to partner with you to do this really great collaboration. Would you be interested?
When they named the developer, that really perked up our ears. It's always refreshing to work with a team that will take on the challenge of tackling Marvel, putting their own spin on it, and they're just uppercutting that challenge into the stratosphere. And that's what you get with this team. I mean, they couldn't make something boring if they tried.
社長からも本当に作れるんだったらぜひやりたいねっていうことを言われました。まあ話を受けてしまった以上これは私がプロデューサーなのかなっていうところで。
The tricky thing is that most fans, including myself, see this as a sacred genre for Marvel. The tough part is finding a partner that's crazy enough to take on the task, because you either do something like this big and bold, or you don't do it at all.
I feel like I have a good grasp on their art style and how they would approach certain IPs. You come in with your kind of own expectations of, here's what I would expect to see from Arc System Works when they take on a Marvel IP. And what came up was something that went beyond that.
一番最初にマーベルさんに提出した時はなんとなくマイケルさんの反応はあんまり芳しくなかった印象があって、まあ、何がまずいのかなっていろいろこうやっぱり直接話していくうちにもっとアークのやりたいマーベルを見せてくれというような話をいただいたことがあって。
I remember personally the first time I saw Iron Man was really when I felt we had something special.
なので今回のアイアンマンのデザインを皆さんご覧いただければ分かると思うんですけども、かなりこう日本らしいアークシステムワークスらしいデザインっていうのが、出ているかなと思うので、マーベルの皆さんの反応がすこぶるよくて、あ、これなんだみたいないう感じで。
Iron Man is supposed to be this sleek fighter jet, think luxury race car mixed with a brick house. And the fact that they added anime mech elements to him just felt really naturally at home.
One of the mantras that we have for this project is from Japan to the world, and really trying to take not just the IP but gameplay mechanics and say, what can we really take from Japan, the creators that are doing awesome work here, and bring that to the global platform.
まあ特別なところいっぱいあるんですけど、まあ本当にやっぱり強調すべきは、まあ格闘ゲームのチームバトルの中では4対4というのがまず本当に意欲的で挑戦的なところだというところと。
When Arc looks at these Marvel characters, it's not simply just the visuals, it's also the gameplay mechanics and adding in that, what is that pop? What is going to be something that's different? Up until now, you've seen tag fighters that have 2v2, 3v3. We felt like we just had to go 4v4. And in doing so, we found a lot of unique and fun ways to change up the gameplay that I think players are going to be very excited to see.
今回4対4という革新的なところにチャレンジしている中で4キャラクター練習しないと勝てないんじゃないのとか安心してください。
Learning 4 characters is extremely daunting, but the team at Arc System Works has found a way to design a system that adapts to your playstyle. So you can either duke it out as just the leader and 3 assists, or you can tag in your assists to swap the leader and change the matchup on the fly.
Okay.
I don't think a lot of people thought this day would be here, would come. You know, this has just been an awesome journey, and I'm excited that we get to be able to share it with all the fans out there.
I'll tell you right now, a lot of fighting games, they never get to experience this level of production, and it's just a dream to even be working with these two great partners.
それは決してビジネスという枠組みではなくて、それぞれの強い思いの中でこのタイトルを成功させよう、いいゲームにしてファンに届けようと。
The 3 companies have come together to do this, and I think we really are going to make something magical here.
このタイトルですね、まだまだ開発途中ではありますが、続々とキャラクターも発表していきたいと思いますし、キャラクター以外のコンテンツというところも今後いろいろ出ていくと思います。今しばらく楽しみにお待ちいただければなと思います。Stay tuned.
You're still with me?
Yep. Yeah, we are, Yogi. Take this.
It seems the upcoming battle is truly unavoidable.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. Not Resident Evil, sorry, Silent Hill, Yogi, Marvel looks cool, 007 looks cool, like there's so many great titles I'm trying actually. Coming here about PlayStation. Well, that's it for me, chat. Let me know in the comments section down below.
Beyond and hello and welcome once again to a very special live State of Play post-show. I'm Max Scoville, host of IGN's weekly PlayStation show, and joining me to discuss everything Sony just revealed, my esteemed colleagues Jada Griffin, Brian Altano, and John Davison.
Beyond.
Right.
Yeah.
What a show.
What do we think?
It was a great
That's
show.
probably the best one of those they've done this generation.
You think so?
I think that's probably the best State of Play showcase thing they've done in the PS5 era. I'm going to say it right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very hot on that.
Okay. What was the standout, breakaway, wonderful number one thing there?
I mean, new gameplay for or seeing Bond in action, seeing a new Marvel fighting game in action, seeing more from Metal Gear Delta, seeing more from Ghost of Yotei.
Yoda,
getting release dates on a bunch of stuff.
Yoda,
It was a
Yoda.
lot of really solid stuff in there, and
I hope
it
you
didn't
get
really have any
Yoda,
soggy
Harvey.
middle areas like a lot of their stuff does. So
Okay.
I'm
Well,
into it.
I want to talk about James Bond.
Sure.
007 First Light from IO Interactive, the studio behind the Hitman games. They have a little bit of experience making games about an agent who has a 7 in his code name. I think I've been very excited for this one. We first heard about that in like 2021, I want to say. About
it's been a while.
Yeah, about as long as we've been waiting to hear about Wolverine, and I'll take this. I'm into it. John, you're British. What do you think?
So I'm eminently qualified to talk about James Bond, and he does have an English accent as well. So
Yeah.
no, I thought it looked great. I mean, there were bits where you could definitely tell they were building on the Hitman of it all. There were they're saying they're going to do a gameplay reveal later, but I mean, you could tell what they're going for. I mean, it's definitely more of an action game, but there was a lot of the sneaky stuff, and then one of the things about the last Hitman that was great was this work they did with environments, right? When when you go to the nightclub and when you go to the thing where it's packed with people and you're kind of like mixing in with stuff, and it looks like they've learned a lot from that, and they're putting that in here. There was that one thing where he was kind of like working his way through the things, there's the lights and everything, where it was a really atmospheric kind of vibe to it. So I'm glad that they're kind of like keeping it like Hitman-like. Because honestly, Hitman is the most James Bond-like game. That exists.
World Assassination is, pretty much.
I mean, it is kind of a Bond game. So I mean, I think they're building on that and really kind of sort of using that as a framework. I like the idea of a young James Bond. I mean, honestly, on the movie side of things, they've been talking about rebooting Bond with a young Bond forever, and then they keep chickening out on it. So the fact that a video game is leading the way there is actually, I think it's a really good thing that, it might actually push the franchise forward. There's been, a lot of talk that Bond as a franchise is becoming kind of irrelevant, and there's been talking like, unless you go back to the 60s, there's no way of capturing the kind of truth of Bond, because it's sort of a bit of an antiquated dinosaur of a character, but by making him a young character, maybe you can make it fresh again.
They also distance it fully from the Daniel Craig stuff.
They've distanced it fully.
Smart.
They're like kind of making him, he's like a recruit. They said he's not even a 00 at the beginning of the game, and he's kind of got to earn it, which is sort of like, so they're kind of starting the lore over and ignoring everything that's established elsewhere, which is kind of daring, but it's great that a video game is doing that, and it's not a TV show, it's not a movie. They're using a video game to experiment, and maybe this will actually help push like other Bond media in a more daring direction rather than putting another middle-aged white guy on screen again, you know?
Well, we just got, I mean,
nothing more,
a good parallel there is Indiana Jones. We just got The Great Circle, which was awesome. I would say that was a better indie movie than the last movie we got, you know? Like
for sure.
It nailed it. But again, it had the whole thing where it was trying so hard to, and Troy Baker did a killer job, it was trying very much to be Harrison Ford. It was tapping into the original films, and that's got to be a little bit suffocating for developers to have to, color within those lines and stay within those boundaries. And I don't know, like, I'm a big time Bond fan, and something that's made the character so, so versatile and so timeless is the fact that they're constantly recasting the guy, and constantly giving us different versions of it. And I like this. Like, it looks a little bit cartoony, like very slightly, you know?
It's got some really great, vibrant colors to it, which I wasn't expecting. I thought it would be a little grittier. But I think that, like, one of the things that Hitman always did really well was humor. And it's one of those things that I feel like Bond fans know that that's a significant part of that franchise. Like, when you think of James Bond, you think of explosions and car chases and, the women and all that stuff like that. But there's a lot of, like, kind of tongue-in-cheek, funny, winky stuff. Yeah, and it seemed like they're nailing that vibe tonally. They've also got some big set pieces and stuff like that we haven't really seen in the Hitman games to that extent. So
I mean, the car chase stuff, where and the camera work that they were showing there. I mean, they're definitely pushing things further than they have in the Hitman games.
I mean, Hitman World of Assassination very quickly became one of my favorite games ever. It is so good, and
and when they stitched them all together in one seamless experience, I replayed through the whole thing on Steam Deck, and like it was, it works great on Steam Deck. It's a great Steam Deck game. But when you play the whole franchise all the way through in sort of like from beginning to end in one thing, and then they do all the like side mission stuff as well, I mean, it's such a great experience.
I mean, that's my biggest fear for this is that it is too much of a linear experience, because like obviously like the Hitman games, there's a story there, but the real stories are the ones that happen in each isolated mission. Yeah, which I mean, they're they're like little dioramas almost. They're kind of these clockwork little microcosms, and like a Bond movie is all about like bouncing from one thing to the next. Like I can't imagine a Hitman game with car chases. I don't know if there's been one, but
I hope that they still allow for some of that emergent stuff that's in the Hitman games, where there are different ways to approach things, so that it is kind of more like, because Hitman had a lot in common with some of the the more kind of emergent adventure games, where it was like there are multiple ways to attack something like Dishonored or a game like that. It has a lot in common with a game like that, where there are like 10 different ways to go to tackle a puzzle. I mean, it is really a puzzle game as much as it is a murdering game. And I hope that they're not switching to just a linear action game where it's just go here and shoot.
I don't think that'll be the case, but again, my thing I'm trying to kind of like guard my expectations with is like expecting another Hitman World of Assassination when this is going to be something different.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be super linear. I don't think it'll be that varied either, but I think that the reason they got the assignment to begin with is because they're going to build a couple of sandboxes for us to play in that are going to be really fun, and they're going to be connected by big set pieces and stuff that's a little more on the rails. But like, I have a feeling you'll finish this game and you'll want to replay it and do stuff differently, and like that's the mark of a great Bond movie, right? Like, you watch it, you want to watch it again, you want to watch more of them. So there's also there's a lot of opportunity here. There's been a great long tail on a lot of the Hitman games and sort of adding new content. Like, if they want to dig into costumes and villains and ancient stuff from Bond lore from decades ago, there's tons of that stuff for them to pull on. So I'm really glad we finally got to see this. It feels like it was hiding for so long, and now it's here, and now we're going to see more of it soon.
Yeah, this trailer gave me basically everything I would expect out of a Bond game. Yeah. Like this, it had a little bit of everything just sprinkled throughout it. So I'm very excited to see where this one
older
goes.
gamers will remember that we used to get Bond video games pretty regularly, and some of them were okay, and some of them were amazing, but they just stopped happening for a while, kind of like the movies. So
I mean, the last sort of big AAA one was that EA first-person shooter that was on like Xbox 360, I think, right?
Yeah.
Which was didn't they do like a Daniel Craig flavored reboot of GoldenEye?
Yeah.
Which was a whole other thing. Now, shifting gears, I want to talk about Silent Hill F, which we got a big, huge look at, and also a release date, which is September 25th. That is coming at us real fast. This is the one that's set in the 60s.
I'm getting confused on the logic of the lore of Silent Hill. Are we now to believe that there is a town in Japan called Silent Hill?
I really think it's sort of like every town has an Elm Street, right? But also there's there's Paris, Texas, and stuff like that. So
I feel like they've lost sort of sight of why the game is called Silent Hill.
No, Silent Hill is it's a state of being. It's a state of mind.
No, it isn't.
It's the fog that follows you.
It was in a place called Silent Hill.
Every summer, my family gets in the car. We drive to Silent Hill, Florida, and we go on vacation. It's great. It's a good time.
Do we know what the F is for?
Forever.
What the F is for?
What the F is for?
F knows.
I would say
there's just like there's like a rogue letter in there, which is I feel like a very like Kingdom Hearts 3DS naming convention, just being like we've got like a musical note in there for some reason. Like why is that?
I'm guessing the F is forever. The two characters they were talking, or the main character was talking, and there was some line in there about. We were supposed to stay together forever.
Oh, you would know that logic, Jada.
So maybe it's Silent Hill forever,
together,
and
maybe?
it's just forever moving to
Or
Japan
it's just
now.
that naughty F word we can't say on the show.
I thought it looked.
So where do you say when you get grabbed by any Silent Hill beast?
My concern with this one is you see too much of the creatures.
They showed us. So this is always so funny about being like a fan of video games. Is like you're like, we haven't seen this game in so long. Show us more. Show us more.
And then they showed us
cool. Here's
lots of
everything.
it.
And I had to look away at one point, not because I'm scared. I'm a big tough boy when it comes to spooky games. I was like, stop showing me all your creatures. I want one of those things to leap out of the shadows at me when I'm playing this game at 1 o'clock in the morning by myself.
But also, did you notice that they're not in the shadows?
Yeah, they're not. They're just playing.
They're just straight up right in like.
Also, they're picking on school kids. What's going on over there?
But they're like right out in the middle of a field. I think one of the things that made Silent Hill so great was it was creepy and things were sort of in the darkness and hidden behind the fog. And in this, they're just like creepy shaped things that are right out in the open. And I think that kind of diminishes the scariness a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, they don't need to hide. They don't need the fog to be scary. Like
well, the F doesn't sound for fog. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this lands because we got was it Ghostwire Tokyo?
Right.
There was. Slitterhead came and went last year. We've seen these different kind of Japanese spins on survival horror.
And there was that other really bad Silent Hill that they released. What was that called?
We all kind of
the live stream went
mine.
Or whatever.
Oh, the one that was like a TV show that people were.
No,
like,
there was another one. Do you remember the day they announced 25 Silent Hill projects at the same time?
It wasn't particularly silent. It was very loud that day. But yeah, I don't know. I'm happy to see this franchise get kind of spun up again. There was a minute there where it was just dormant and everyone was mad at Konami with good reason.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's wild that we're getting a brand new Silent Hill game less than a year or roughly a year after the remake of 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is gorgeous.
Which was great. It was great. Yeah.
It seems like they're kind of leaning over and copying Capcom's homework with Resident Evil, which is not a bad thing at all.
They're remaking a Metal Gear game, so yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
You're onto something.
If you see a working formula, you follow it.
Yeah, I mean, we put together like a whole documentary recently at IGN about like Capcom's sort of like fall and rise. Like they've had this really incredible kind of boomerang back into the exact place they should be, right? Making awesome games again.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's a good studio to emulate.
Yeah, I think Silent Hill F looks fantastic. I think it's going to have the scares that we are expecting of a Silent Hill game.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's probably going to go some weird places story-wise because what Silent Hill doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Silent Hill 2 had the bunch of secret endings or different endings depending on your actions. I fully expect that stuff to be there this time around as well. I think this is going to be another win for Konami.
Sweet. Well, I hope to stick the landing on that. We need to take a quick break, but first, a reminder that IGN Summer of Gaming is going on all through June, and we've got tons of awesome coverage planned. This Friday, you can catch Summer Game Fest, and then all weekend long is IGN Live, our massive in-person fan event, which is covering gaming, but also movies, shows, collectibles, all that good stuff. We've got live interviews with celebrity guests, over 100 playable gaming stations, and mountains of giveaways. If you're in the Los Angeles area, we would love it if you joined us downtown in the Magic Box at the Reef. You can find a full schedule over at IGN.com/live. Use the offer code PLAY at checkout for a special discount. We'll be right back. Stoney's State of Play live post-show thing is happening right now. We'll see you in a second.
IGN Summer of Gaming is presented by PlayStation Days of Play. Get the PlayStation 5 digital console with the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 bundle starting at $399.99 while supplies last.
The average Cinefix movie list features nearly 100 different films and approximately 25 minutes worth of wall-to-wall deep dive analysis. To simulate that pace for this 30-second ad, we're featuring 26 different films, and before you say it, no, that math does not check out. We're not math people, we're movie people. We can't even count down from 10 without ending up at, like, 96. Subscribe to IGN Movies and TV for more Cinefix movie lists. Bad at math, great at movies.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and
Elden
interactive
Ring!
maps are here to help.
Oh my god, that's my favorite.
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, and so much more.
Do it.
It's good, right?
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
What?
IGN Plus is where your adventure begins.
What are you selling?
Plus is the place to get unlimited access to
like
all
an
the tools you need to beat your games.
Here's what you need to know for bringing down Gloomspawn.
Plus, awesome exclusive discounts on IGN Store.
Maybe this would tease open your money pouch.
Plus, ad-free browsing on IGN.com. Plus, unlimited game help tools like premium interactive maps with your own custom map markers, filters, marker notes, and more.
For everyday use, including live productions like this one, enjoy a thinner, lighter gaming experience with the latest NVIDIA GeForce RTX 50 series GPU, the advanced performance of the Intel Core Ultra 9 processor, and a breathtaking OLED gaming display. Our first tweet, what do we got, Jada?
We got from @GotchaChagama. This guy aura farming, and it's just images of Dr. Doom in the new Marvel, what is it, Marvel
Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. It rolls off the tongue.
Totally
so
does.
This was a fun surprise.
Oh my God. I absolutely love this reveal. The Arc System Works has just launched me into the stratosphere for this game.
Yeah,
I
that looks
love
beautiful.
Guilty
The
Gear.
game
I
does
love
look
me a good
amazing.
Arc System Works fighting game, and this looks like it's delivering on everything I would want out of a Marvel fighting game after Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite just did not live up to the previous Marvel vs. Capcom hype. The 4-on-4 fighting, we saw Ghost Rider, Dr. Doom, Iron Man's got a new look, Cap's there. There's so many great characters. Storm, yes.
Storm's awesome. This is like one of those, like the IO people making a Hitman or a James Bond game. It's one of those like peanut butter and
That would
chocolate
be
things
a
I wouldn't have
crime.
thought of, but the second you see those things coming together, you're like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. The art direction they're going with on this, like the characters designs specifically, like Iron Man, who's got like a tinge of Evangelion in him, and then he's got this Dr.
with the
Doom
little, with the little eyebrow
it's
thing.
the Gundam eyebrows.
Yeah.
The Gundam eyebrows. Like, it's so awesome. This is such a cool surprise. This looks like a lot just in terms of like the sheer amount. Like, there's like characters tagging in, like the effects when they're beating each other up.
And very often all four are on screen at the same time.
It's nuts.
Look, I love fighting games, so this was one of my top ones from the show, like by far. I love it didn't even have to be Marvel. If it was just Arc System Works doing a new fighting game, I would have been just as hyped. But this is very cool, and I think it's going to get a lot more people in the door because it is Marvel, and Marvel just has that effect.
They got Spider-Man and X-Men characters in here, which is like they made the right call to the right lawyers, and they got the right people in this game, which means we might get Wolverine here. We might get, Deadpool
There was
might
a
show up.
moment
Who
where I
knows?
thought this might be the demo that we get Wolverine in.
Like I did the whole rewind thing. Did you think it was going to be on the TV in the bar?
I thought it was going to be
I thought so
It'd be
too.
weird. Like, why would Wolverine be watching State of Play?
No, Wolverine.
Arc System Works, Bob. Let me see that again.
The one thing distinctive about this whole State of Play was that there was a lot of very distinctive
Silent
art
Hill
styles
is from
throughout the whole thing. Like,
OG
there was a lot of games with very
G4
daring
TV.
art. Like, there was not, like, in the
You love
past,
gaming?
there
That's
have been
what's
a lot of
up.
things that all look like basically Unreal Engine games, right? That have that sort of grey-brown kind of sludgy look to them. Whereas this one, there was a lot of really daring art design. So there was this. There
get to
was
watch the
Romeo is a
whole,
Dead Man, which we have to
the
talk
whole
about in a minute
show?
because he's
That's
insane. There was that
have
Tides
any
of Tomorrow
favorites that
thing,
you're
which also
looking
had a
forward
very
to coming
distinctive
out
art
this year?
style. There was Sea Remnants, which also had a really cool look. There was a lot
Sorry
of
if
things
the
that were
audio is so
blending,
loud.
like very kind of video gamey looks with
Is
very
that, like,
hand-drawn
turning
look.
down a
And
bit?
then the
Yeah.
Bloodstained game also looked really cool. Like, I think we're finally getting to a point where, the art departments are really kind of like pushing what the hardware can do, and sort of really, they're kind of leading the way. If it's not the graphics engine that's dictating what they're doing, it's like the art is leading the way.
Well, what I love about in the Arc System Works thing, there was a bit in there where, the art director was like, "Yeah, I handed off my designs to Marvel, and they seemed kind of disappointed." And they came back and they were like, "Can you do it more your way?"
Yeah.
Which is
That
really
was
fun.
epic.
We just got Marvel Rivals,
That's,
which gave
like, so,
all
like,
these
flattering
iconic
when
characters
companies tell you
remixes,
that.
and it's really refreshing. And it makes these
Yeah.
things, stand out on their own. It's fun to see him like that.
Some of the effects on the Ghost Rider stuff was insane.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so awesome. I mean, like, my general feeling about this generation so far has been pretty lackluster, right? And this State of Play was the first time I was like, okay, we're starting to fire on all cylinders again. Like, we're fine. It took 4 years, but we're finally getting to the point where it's just like everybody's kind of cooking and it's all coming together. And I just really liked what we saw today. This Marvel game was an incredible surprise, and I love the idea of like this being a hit and there being a long tail where they just
keep
adding
dropping characters into it.
Yeah, because I just want to see all of my favorite iconic Marvel characters in this art style, blowing stuff up and punching people.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. The unique designs they gave, like Dr. Doom specifically.
Yeah,
he looked great with the fur collar.
I love that.
It's also, I don't know, that there for a while it was like, is this going to be a 2D or a 3D thing? And they're doing the same thing they did with what is it? Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like it's cell shaded
Exactly.
3D, but it's moving so fast that it's kind of just like it clicks.
Yeah.
And I mean, Fighters is a great example. Like I remember when that came out, pretty much side by side with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinity, and I feel like it kind of ate their lunch.
Very much so.
Yeah, caught on with the fighting game crowd, but at the same time, it also pulled in a bunch of more casual players who were like, I want multiple Gokus to punch each other really fast on the TV, and then that's what we got. I feel like we're gonna have a similar thing here, where it's fighting games can be a bit daunting for more casual players to get into, but if it's recognizable characters, that's really
I'm not
good.
going to be able to play this game. I have no idea what was going on.
Well, I feel like you didn't catch the parries, the grabs, the neutral
no idea what
game.
was
You
going
didn't
on.
catch
It
none
just
of
looks
that?
cool.
I'm such a purist for like old school like pixel art, right? And like Marvel fighting games sort of like were rooted in that, right? And so was Ninja Gaiden, and so was Bloodstained by way of Castlevania. And we saw all those games are now running on their own engines with their own art styles that aren't pixel art anymore, and they all look effing awesome. And I'm really happy to see that like we can, not necessarily leave pixel art behind because it'll always be special to me, but like build this whole new generation of stuff that looks really fun and really arcadey and really beautiful, but is taking things into the next level.
So John, you mentioned Romeo's a Dead Man.
Yes.
We should definitely
Which had
talk about
every art style under the sun in it.
like just.
I love the idea of someone just taking Suda like a bunch of money and saying, "Please do whatever you want."
They just airdropped a bag of money onto his doorstep.
So my brain went through like
They're like, get your
Yes. Like the opening dinner table scene, I'm like, oh, it's another one of those like wacky cooking games where you're like, you've got to fast pace around the kitchen and serve food and stuff
And then
like
they
that.
shove the thing into his eye.
And then they
like...
kill a guy, and then stuff starts happening, and I'm like, Suda! It's gotta be Suda. This is Grasshopper for sure. And then the Grasshopper logo popped up when we were all clapping and cheering in here. Like,
there was a point where there was that game was there. If it wasn't Suda, we'd be mad on Suda's behalf because somebody was copying his.
I'd be like, somebody bit your stuff big time over here.
Yeah.
That was so. First of all, like, Suda's made a lot of games for different platforms. He's been sort of making, he made No More Heroes and Travis Strikes Again and stuff like that. And like he's been on like, shall I say, like less powerful hardware with a lot of stuff. So seeing his stuff just singing on a PS5 like that, I was like, oh, they gave my boy some money. They're going to let him get out there. They're going to give him some more polygons to play with. He's got a little bit more horsepower on the hood. Let's see what he can do. And yeah, it looks bonkers. I love everything I saw for this. And I love that afterwards he does a little interview and it's just like, there are some questions like, why is Romeo dead? Or whatever.
Like, Suda's great. I love him so dearly. That game looks wild. You're playing as like an FBI agent who's like traveling through space and time to kill people for some reason.
I mean, who cares?
And your grandpa's on the back of your jacket and talks to you.
The premise is outrageous and is, I don't want to say irrelevant because it's going to be so wacky and such a good time, but I'm just so down for Suda's next thing because I don't think I've ever been disappointed by anything that he's put out. I always have a good time just going through his fast-paced action, gory, tons of blood and particles everywhere. Like this is.
I will say that for what we said about the Bond game, about how we hope it's got more open environments, I hope this has less of those because historically that is like that is not necessarily the forte of like the No More Heroes games, right? Give me like a
Just
linear.
funnel me down a pipe and make me kill things.
Put me in the tunnel with the knife and the gun and everything else, and just let me murder shit.
Looks like a good time. Also, just doing crazy stuff with typography there. Like just really, just kind of. I love that it's just like throwing as much design at something as possible,
Yep.
and like, yeah, obviously taking advantage of more powerful hardware, but also just going kind of wild there. It has like almost like similar, not vibes or aesthetic, but similar notes to Intergalactic.
There's
Very
yeah.
like yes,
There's
kind
a-
of
it's a-
mixing the things.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of his stuff in the past has leaned more on like punk rock, hip hop stuff, and this is getting a lot more weirder sort of 70s sci-fi, but with still like a lot of the aggressive punk rock elements to it. So, yeah, sign me up. I want this game right now. This might be my favorite game that got announced today. Actually, this might be my biggest surprise now that I'm talking
This
about
one,
it.
Demonic Supremacy.
So
Now
good.
we also got not a release date. We got another
Isn't that
apologetic
like the
postcard from
Doom game?
Pragmata, the folks at Capcom, with this
It
game.
looks like it.
What is this? Do we know what this game is?
I mean, it looks like another 3D action game. Almost gave me a little bit of Stellar Blade vibes.
It's a little bit Stellar Bladey,
Yeah.
but also it's got some.
Oh, Stellar
I
Blade?
kind of like got some Vanquish from
This
it.
played
I like that we're like
too.
doing like
I
a
really
wine
liked
tasting
it,
here. We're like,
to be honest.
blackberry.
I thought it looked
Yeah, they keep
amazing.
kicking this one further down the road, which is frustrating. I hope this finally comes out and we get to play it. It's a weird looking game, but in a fun way. I don't know. I was let down. What was that? Was that dinosaur game that they put out? The dinosaurs fall out of the hole in the sky.
Dinosaur Hole.
Dinosaur Hole. Thank you,
Jurassic
Brian.
Park? Oh, Dinosaur
But again, like
Hole.
that
What's
one was
that?
kind of out there. We still really just want a Dino Crisis. That's all.
It
That's
had
all
a
we
little
want.
bit of a kind of like inverse Bioshock to it, where you're the big daddy and you've got the little sister with you kind of thing going on as well, where like she's kind of like walking along with you and kind of accompanying with you, and you're the big lumbering thing. I thought that was kind of an interesting dynamic, because usually in games like this, it's kind of the opposite way around.
Yeah, I was a little like, okay, yeah, sure, been there, done that, and then she like hops on your shoulder
And
during the combat, and she's like, "Let me help," and
Yeah.
all of a sudden she's like,
Start blasting like
just breaking down people emotionally or whatever, and physically, like just shattering them into smithereens.
I
and
mean,
I'm
what
like,
else do our young girls do? Young girls excel
That's what
at.
my kid does every day. Yeah. So yeah, I'm the combat looks really fun here. I like the idea of Capcom using what I believe to be the RE engine to make like a big new IP that I know nothing about, rather than like the 9th or 10th installment in a popular franchise. Although I would have loved Resident Evil 9 today, because we talked about that so much at the beginning. But hey, we got some new Capcom today
no
anyway. So
RE.
yeah, look at the traversal in this game, just like flying up and down these space stations, fighting these big silly mech things. I'm down. This looks like a good time.
I'm okay with us not getting Resident Evil 9 because they actually showed us Pragmata. Because it's just been a joke. I almost said in the pre-show, I was like, wonder if we'll get a postcard from Capcom about Pragmata, and I didn't, and I wish I would have made that prediction now, because...
Also, exciting thing, it's the summer of gaming. The week is young. Like, we still have, there's IGN Live this weekend, there's Summer Games Fest, there's the Xbox conference.
Yeah.
Like, normally when they do, like, a state of play in, like, October, I'm like, well, man, we're probably done getting new stuff this year.
We could get Resident Evil at the Xbox. Now.
True.
Yeah,
It's very true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We got a lot of release dates.
We did.
Yeah.
Which is unusual, right?
It's
Now,
also
they better commit to it.
Well, hey,
or I'll be
GTA
very
6
mad.
is out of the year, so now they're like, okay,
now everyone's
we can...
like, all right, let's,
here we
all
go,
like,
here we
There
go.
was a lot of stuff at the beginning of September.
Yes.
Yeah. All of them. They were probably very scared for a while. It's like watching like a wolf leave a forest and all these like.
No,
wolf
everything
creatures
scuttles
come
out and goes, yeah.
Is it
that
safe?
first week in September, we're back.
That's going to be kind of a scramble. I mean, it's a good problem to have this many kind of games kind of at the
I
same
feel like
time. But
in our pre-show we went through 3 or 4 games that were coming out within a single week, and I think that based on this, like a couple more even got added to that pile. So.
yeah, I mean,
it's busy.
Everybody's golf Hot Shots on September 5th. Am I going to play Hell Is Us or Hot Shots golf? I don't. That's a tough call.
What a choice.
Yeah. How am I feeling today? I don't know.
Baby Steps on September 8th.
I like the
Hiragami
Hot
on September
Shots
3rd.
golf.
Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff that week.
Yeah, I'm really excited about Baby Steps.
I am so excited for that. I did the preview for us, and it is just so much fun. It's hilarious from like moment start to whenever you put the controller down. Like,
Yeah.
it's just a blast.
Which game do you think will be better in terms of 2025 games where you fall down a lot? That or Death Stranding 2?
I think Baby Steps will be funnier.
Okay.
But Death Stranding 2 will be more depressing.
All right.
Oh, right.
I mean, it's Kojima.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
Death
yeah,
Stranding.
yeah.
This game has just some really wonderfully uncomfortable little cutscenes.
I
Like,
can
just
see,
people
like,
keep like
somebody else
peeking
playing it,
indoors
like,
or like popping out from behind
maybe
bushes.
cat
It's just
or-
very
The
And
plot is a lot more toilet driven.
Yeah, I was going to
Somebody
say,
else,
there's a lot of
they have,
toilets
like, a
in
penis.
here.
Yeah, and I feel like I shouldn't be surprised about that at all.
I think it's gonna get a lot of
he's
good
Also looking
laughs.
up from the toilet.
Yeah. Does he have one of those, the pants that have like the little thing
flaps?
on the flaps. Thank you for
Yeah,
getting
the
them
flaps.
back.
Got it.
I was talking with the developers when I was previewing it, and your outfit will get dirty depending on where you fall. So if you fall in a bunch of grass, it'll get covered in moss and green and dirt if you're all in dirt. And so like they fully expect people to go through and try to keep their outfit as clean as possible without falling.
I said this on Beyond a couple months ago, but that game looks like it smells. You know, like it just they've been threatening us with this like smell-o-vision technology for years, and luckily it hasn't happened. But I feel like with this game, you'd have to like fumigate the house.
I feel like it would be kind of the perfect one to launch with that kind of
This is
technology.
stinky poo-poo man who keeps falling in the mud.
Thank you for offering this expert criticism and analysis, Brian. This is Bennett Foddy working on this, who made Quap and Getting Over It. And I interviewed him a million years ago at some like GDC, weird indie game showcase thing. And his whole philosophy is like it's not so much the game itself, but the frustration from the player that he
it definitely has a Getting Over It kind of.
Yeah, they do.
Definitely a successor to that kind of vibe.
I'm hoping that it's a little bit less aggressively frustrating and more just kind of funny to play.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
From what I've played, it definitely is. There is, as you explore, because it's just kind of an open world, they just kind of set you free. And as you walk around, you're just like, oh, look, there's something over there. There's like a broken down carnival. Let me walk over there and see what's over there. And then you try to get there, and you're like, oh, do I take this like really narrow like bridge, or do I walk down this hill and try not to fall? But oh, there's something up on this hill. So am I good enough to walk across this narrow bridge or not?
Can you die, or do your pajamas just get
As
dirty?
of right now, I have not. I didn't see a health bar. There was no way of dying that I
Also,
could see.
you're very good at games, so you wouldn't know.
That is true.
Not an issue.
I did get to a point where I was sprinting in the demo with him. I
Nice.
got
All
pretty
right.
good.
Well, we need to take a quick break. There's lots more Sony post-show coming up. Stick around.
They said it's just a game. They said it's a waste of time. They said it's impossible. But our spirit doesn't die. It respawns. On the Lenovo Legion 7i gaming laptop, we hold our L's like badges of honor, earned through whiffed parries, missed point-blank skill shots, and by dropping hot, then getting eliminated in the first 10 seconds. They said it's impossible to reach bronze in League of Legends after 10,000 consecutive gameplay hours, to master the art of rage quitting gracefully, or to beat blueprints without using a guide. Okay, that one is actually pretty impossible. What they didn't see was the late night grind, the weight of carrying your teammates, the 50th one more game, the rush of a victory royale. Because every game over is just a new chance to reach your impossible.
The Lenovo Legion 7i gaming laptop. Enjoy a thinner, lighter gaming experience with the latest Intel Core Ultra processors, NVIDIA GeForce RTX 50 series graphics, and a bright IGN Summer of Gaming is presented by FX's Alien Earth. Premieres August 12th on FX and Hulu.
The Cinefix Top 100. A list so secretive even we don't know what movies are on it or where they rank.
What do you mean you don't know?
Each episode will reveal one of the movies.
I actually felt like I was good. I liked it.
Talk about why it belongs and finally find out where it ranks.
Okay.
Are any of the movies we've shown here even on the list? I have no idea, and it drives me crazy. Join us as we find out on Cinefix, IGN, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Why so serious?
Catch up on all your favorite shows with up-to-the-minute gaming and entertainment news with Geek Media Podcasts.
Welcome to a very special episode of IGN Game Scoop.
Game Scoop has you covered for all things gaming and the latest game releases. Tune into Podcast Beyond for the biggest PlayStation news.
Man, this is a cool looking trailer.
Everything Xbox on Podcasts Unlocked.
Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief.
Catch up with your Super Nintendos on Nintendo Voice Chat.
Switched to pre-order at Mania. It was chaotic last night.
And get all the latest console news and rumors with Next Gen Console Watch.
Now Xbox and Phil Spencer are even saying that a mid-gen refresh isn't even necessary.
The Cinefix Top 100 podcast picks a movie every week to celebrate and debate.
It's kind of every movie's grandpa.
Geek Media Podcasts, the best podcasts from around the world.
IGN Playlist is the best way to track your game collection. Now you can even import your entire Steam library to Playlist, making it easier than ever to review games, show off your collection of the world, and finally chip away at that massive backlog you keep meaning to get to. IGN Playlist, check it out.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing?
Elden Ring!
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree,
they only have
Baldur's
this one
Gate
for
3,
PlayStation
Tears
or
of the
Switch?
Kingdom, and so much more.
Man, it's good, right?
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
And we're back. We saw a bunch of cool games today that we're going to have to wait a little while to play. So in the meantime, why not get yourself some brand new games right now? The Badass Brawlers Humble Bundle gets you 7 totally kick-ass beat-em-up games for the low price of just $16. You will get modern classics like River City Girls 1 and 2, Double Dragon Neon, Final Vendetta, The Chaotic Kaiju Killer, Dawn of the Monsters, and so much more. Head to humblebundle.com today and start beating some stuff up. Let's talk about the show opener that we got, which was Luminous, what is it, Awakening?
Arise.
Arise. Okay. And it's in PlayStation VR. It's the Tetris Effect folks working on it. It looks
very cool.
Yeah.
Looks like what I would hope from a new Luminous type game.
Yeah. Shocking amount of PSVR 2 stuff in this today. Luminous is amazing.
They weren't doing any more VR 2 stuff.
Well, usually before these things, they go like, tune in for exciting updates and new reveals of PlayStation 5 and PSVR 2 games. And this time they just said PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, finally, we're going to leave that thing behind. They forgot it at launch and then moved on since. But no, it got some decent support today. Luminous Arise looks really cool. It took a full minute for me to figure out what game this was
Well,
based on...
because the beginning of it was someone walking down the street.
Yeah.
I thought it was Yakuza. I thought it was Kiryu walking through. You know.
We were just yelling out different franchises in here. Yakuza, Rez,
Spaceman,
Bubble Bobble.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. So I'll always take another one of these games. The original one on the PSP and Vita, and the ones they put on. Like this was always such a fantastic handheld game for me. But I will totally play this.
And the music on these things was always amazing too.
Yeah. Sure. Give me more Luminous forever.
I'm gonna get some good play on this with my Portal when I just want to have something else on the TV.
I mean, it's weird that it's VR because it's like the perfect kind of handheld game.
Oh, there you go. It's literally in your hands with VR, John.
Oh, yeah, awesome.
I mean,
that's exactly what I want.
John, just put the handheld right against your face.
The sort of double-edged sword with Tetris Effect in VR is that it's just Tetris in VR, like really cool, but also it's Tetris in VR.
Right.
Like I think anybody who's played Tetris can immediately figure out what's going on and kind of be like wowed by the presentation of it. And I guess I'm curious, like how will that apply here as well? I mean, Luminous is not as immediately like a recognizable puzzle game. It's Tetris is universal, but like this is a little bit.
What I think Luminous does really well, the Tetris Effect completely tapped into, is that thing where you just go zen, like where you just black out.
That's Miz's whole thing, right? The synesthesia thing, where you kind of like really zone out to the music, and
where all of a sudden someone's calling your name from the other room, and you're like,
what?
Yeah.
I'm
happy
that this is not exclusively VR. This is going to be on regular PS5 too, which is good.
And it's getting a free demo this summer.
That's cool.
I'm into.
Yeah.
I really liked what the old games did and what Tetris Effect did, where all the levels just start to melt into each other after a while. So, and then there's that one that always comes in after like 15 of being in Zen, where it's just like hyper fast and there's gongs playing, and you're like, oh god, it's so scary.
It's very chill until it's not. It's scary, and you have to stop playing because there's like a whale flying by or whatever.
Yeah, no, this was a cool surprise. This is one of those like I consider like at this point like a classic PlayStation franchise, right? I know it's come to a bunch of other platforms, but like this is the kind of stuff I want to see in these state of plays, right? Like new entries in games that I've loved on PlayStation for ages now, and I get a brand new one, so that's great.
Now the other thing we got a glimpse of in VR is Thief VR. Let's talk through it. What's the problem here? What's going on?
You take a fantastic game like Thief and you waste it on VR. What are you doing?
Well, yeah, it's okay. So it's one of those things where it's like if we were also getting just a sort of standard brand new Thief game, then sure, do whatever you want on the side, right?
Yeah.
Like give me the big cool new console Thief game, and then you can also be like, and here's the
And
one
then
where you
here's
can
a
see your
VR
hands.
mode. But
Sure.
don't make it a VR game. No one will play it.
It's. I mean, like it's so. They're so.
I'm so mad I dropped my glasses.
It's
What's
okay.
going
It's
on?
okay. Well, when you put them on, you can see that there's a PlayStation VR 2 logo in the corner, and you're going to get so mad you're going to
I
drop them
don't
again.
wanna see that.
No, so this is such a double-edged sword with this because I feel like PSVR 2 was kind of dead on arrival, right? PlayStation from the jump basically didn't support this thing. It was overpriced. It had a strong, dedicated fan base that didn't really get what they deserved.
Okay.
And then they kind of just gave up on it for a while. But it's still getting games here and there.
Mhm.
And like, I'm in no rush to buy this thing because I feel like even if they price drop it to, practically nothing, it's only going to get a couple of games a year, and that's just not enough for me. So this is really cool for people that have PSVR 2. Nothing really in the world can get me to buy one of those things at this point.
But meanwhile, Thief is a fantastic franchise.
Yes.
That
Yes.
has been like criminally ignored
Uh-huh.
by anyone, all the people that have like held the IP over the years, and like you've got Eidos Montreal who are now kind of like having another go at it, and they're releasing it on exactly the wrong platform.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is Vertigo Games that did the Metro Awakening and Arizona Sunshine.
Oh, well, those
so
were well done.
Yeah, it's a good VR studio. But again, I see your point where it is.
Yeah.
What was the last Thief game we got? Like 2014, the Thief
Xbox One launch title, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah. But I mean, we also got Dishonored.
Oof,
but
that. Oof.
where's that? Yeah.
Oof
So it's
on the
a
VR.
tricky time for that. Now let's jump ahead. Let's talk about some sort of wonderful throwback games. We got Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, which
Ninja
I'm very excited for. That's the
Gaiden, hell
that's the studio that did
So
Blasphemous.
Yeah.
Yes.
Doing, and I want to see more of this.
Like published by Dotemu, who did Shredder's Revenge. They nailed that sort of like slash jump thing. Like that is just one of those things. Like if you made a new DuckTales game and Scrooge McDuck didn't do the pogo stick hop on people, you'd be like, this game sucks. And so here it's true. Look, they nailed that
They
jump.
did.
And
They
that's one
did.
of those things. It's like if they didn't get that down, I'd be like, get out of the kitchen.
I-
Like you just can't hang.
I
Sorry.
literally, so they started talking about bringing back some of the original composers to do some of the music
Oh,
work
yeah, the
for it,
music
and
joint.
some of the music kicked in, and I literally got goosebumps
Yep,
because I
yep.
remember playing this original game back in the day, and I'm just like, oh, I'm so excited to hear this music again and play this brutally difficult
Yep.
side scroller. Like I love Ninja Gaiden, and it just I cannot wait.
Now, if you're young and you didn't grow up with the NES, Ninja Gaiden is a series of games about a guy who continually gets killed by an eagle.
Yeah.
No.
That is
those
not-
birds.
The
Yeah,
birds were
the
like
birds are the toughest things in those games.
so deadly back then, though.
Yeah, this is one of those, like, this is exactly what I want when people are like, we're making a new version of a classic franchise. I haven't played this yet, but it's out next month, which is really, really exciting. It's not jammed up with the 16 other September release date games.
Yep.
I don't think these guys were worried about GTA 6 at all. So we just get an awesome action platformer next month from a great developer. So yeah, sign me up.
Yeah. On a similar note, we also got Bloodstained, the Scarlet Agreement?
Engagement.
Which did you say the Scarlet Agreement?
I don't know. That opened with like an extremely high-res, very polished cinematic, and then it kind of scaled back into gameplay that looks more akin to what we expect from that, which is
the up and down teeter-totter in this room, the seesaw of like, were we like, is this Bloodstained, or is this a new Castlevania, or is it a new Bloodstained, or is it a new Castlevania? And we were like, well, look at some of the people in this game. They don't really look like the people they put in Bloodstained games, aka they're not,
And then the music was very, very, very Castlevania.
Yes, yeah.
Saw the curry, the curry food item that they picked up and ate. I was like, that's very Castlevania too.
They got the Cleric Beast in there.
Like the cover band has been doing, the cover band thing for so long that they haven't usurped the original, but like the original stopped putting out new music. So like this is what we have. I want nothing more. We were talking about, Konami, like going back to the roots and stuff like that. Like they made a Contra game last year that I did not like. That was such a swing and a miss for me.
Tactics?
Yeah, and I think that there's like a chance that they could put out a brand new Castlevania game. Until then, this is the kind of stuff that's going to have to hold us over. Which is not a problem.
I really enjoyed the Bloodstains I've played so far.
Yeah.
They're very solid Castlevania likes, and so I'm very excited to see where they've kind of grown for this one, because it looks like a lot of the things that the original Bloodstain was missing at launch. Looks like this one has going into it already. So it'll be interesting to see how some of these new mechanics and such, like there's multiple characters, like are we swapping between them at the press of a button? Is it like a tag system? Like, what is that going to look like? So I'm very, very intrigued by this one.
I like how it says till death destroys our castle walls. Like, it's not going to be me smashing through them looking for hidden items and meats.
There could be a roast chicken in there for all you know.
You never know. There always is. Slash at every wall in every one of these games forever.
We already saw the curtain.
Now, you mentioned Metal Slug Tactics. We got a Final Fantasy Tactics remake. Jada.
Final Fantasy Tactics is back, baby. Oh, I'm so excited to lose hundreds and hundreds of hours playing this game twice, in the original and then the updated version. This looks fantastic. I love this art style for it, this kind of like picture book kind of art that they did for these new graphics for the cutscenes and such. Like, just gorgeous. Final Fantasy Tactics, still to this day, one of the best turn-based tactics RPGs ever made. There's just so many cool things. I'm hoping, because they say they have the original version, they're gonna have like the secrets that you can uncover and unlock those very secret characters that I won't spoil for those who are young. But that never got to play this. But there's some really cool stuff in this one, and I just really am excited to see what new things they did with this one. Fully voiced dialogue is huge for an RPG of this size.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much content in this game, and for it to be fully voiced is insane, and I'm very happy about that.
When I first saw the enhanced art direction, I was kind of like a little let down because it's kind of subdued, but it's also one of those, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, that's one of the best looking, classic pixel art games ever made. And so there was that whole thing during the like Xbox 360 area where they would take old games like that and run them through like the most garbage filter ever and just make things look really bad. And here, I don't feel like they did that. I feel like they preserved the sort of artistic integrity of the original.
This picture book look kind of reminds me of what we got with like Valkyria Chronicles back in the day. And so, I love that art style. So I'm very happy to see it used in this for this one.
Now, another little throwback game we got there is the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection.
Right.
With a K.
Which is every possible flavor of Mortal Kombat, including the really garbage handheld games.
I mean, you nailed it. Like, so Mortal Kombat Advance is like notoriously one of the worst video games ever made, and if they preserve that to put it in here, like, I'll be like,
I mean, fair play to them.
Yeah, fair play. Godspeed. This is a studio. Digital Eclipse have done such a phenomenal job over the last couple of years of not just like preserving original games and restoring them and putting them in collections, but building this like sort of DVD menu behind the scenes like narrative, showing you like it's almost like you get video games and you get a full documentary with it. And I just love that whole concept, right? Like, this is a couple years ago when they started re-releasing classic game collections. Here and there you would see little things like, bonus content would be like, oh, here's some promotional materials and stuff out, original box arts and stuff.
Chat, do you guys think it's worth if they do that? Like, as like a retro creator? I think it's good.
Roll back netcode. You can run the.
It's like old school. It's like nostalgic, right?
That would be the funniest online thing. With people. Like, yeah, it's extremely funny. No, I mean, with older games like this, there's always kind of like why don't I just emulate it?
Right.
But in this case, it's like.
And it's like the new generation, like having the new generation play the games that we played.
Yeah, I don't know. I love that little
growing up.
Just wonderful kind of collector's pack there.
Yeah.
We need to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere because there's more PlayStation State of Play post show and IGN Summer of Gaming coming right up. Stick around.
IGN Summer of Gaming is presented by Lenovo Legion. Reach your impossible.
Hey you! Looking for a way to wear your fandom with pride? The IGN store is the ultimate destination for awesome merch and collectibles from the biggest games, movies, shows, and everything in between. Cruise the wasteland in style with a Vault Dweller hoodie and replica Pip-Boy. Kick back and relax to some of the best game soundtracks ever pressed on limited edition vinyl. Or level up your whole wardrobe with a massive selection of officially licensed apparel. From iconic properties like Star Wars and The Legend of Zelda to newer fan favorites like Atomfall and Expedition 33, the IGN store has you covered. You'll also find hats, jewelry, action figures, board games, model kits, art books, and even snacks. Whatever you're into, you're bound to find something. See for yourself and head to store.ign.com today.
Catch up on all your favorite shows with up-to-the-minute gaming and entertainment news with Geek Media Podcasts.
Welcome to a very special episode of IGN Game Scoop.
Game Scoop has you covered for all things gaming and the latest game releases. Tune into Podcast Beyond for the biggest PlayStation news.
Man, this is a cool looking trailer.
Everything Xbox on Podcasts Unlocked.
Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief.
Catch up with your Super Nintendos on Nintendo Voice Chat.
Switched to pre-order Mania. It was chaotic last night.
And get all the latest console news and rumors with next-gen console launch.
Xbox and Phil Spencer are even saying that a mid-gen refresh isn't even necessary.
The Cinefix Top 100 podcast picks a movie every week to celebrate and debate.
It's kind of every movie's grandpa.
Geek Media Podcasts, the best podcasts from around the world.
The Cinefix Top 100. A list so secretive even we don't know what movies are on it or where they rank.
What do you mean you don't know?
Each episode will reveal one of the movies.
Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed. That was good. I liked it.
Talk about why it belongs and finally find out where it ranks.
Are you not entertained?
Are any of the movies we've shown here even on the list? I have no idea, and it drives me crazy. Join us as we find out on Cinefix, IGN, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Why so serious?
And we are back. One big reveal we got during the State of Play is Neo 3.
Neo 3.0.
Neo 3.0. Brian, what do you think about this one? You're a big Soulsborne guy.
I am all in. Yeah, this is another one of those games where I was like, "What is this? I know the studio behind it. I understand the pedigree. What
I like
game is
I
this?"
like that
And
game.
then seeing Neo 3, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm sold."
guessed it wrong about 4 times during the demo.
I mean,
it is kind of Souls.
That's one of my favorite things about watching one of these
Like
things is
Souls
just like
games,
we're all just
pick it up,
yelling out
make sure to
different names and
wishlist it,
genres and
and pick
flavors.
it up when it's
Yeah,
on
so
sale.
I loved the original
It's
Neo
fun.
a ton. And
gonna
then
have to
kind
go
of
back and
bounced
do
off the
another
second
little
one.
playthrough
And I
or,
heard
like,
like they did
things
some
like
updates
that.
and patches to it after I played
Try and get a
it.
playlist
So maybe
up.
I'll give it a second chance, especially now that the third one's coming out.
Maybe
But
after
yeah, this looks
Elden
awesome.
Ring's done,
And
we'll
they're
do
adding
that,
like a
chat.
new.
We'll
There's a new
play
character that adds like a new fighting
Neo
style. in this one.
and
So I think they said it was like a ninja, right?
Yeah, no, it looks like a little bit of Sekiro in there.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one was you were basically like
And we'll
Samurai
do, like,
Geralt,
a
right?
Souls
Yeah.
And then the second one, you could create your own character.
Correct.
And then this one is it seems like I guess it's back to.
It looks so
Did they actually say if
beautiful.
you can create characters? Is it?
Because it's the main.
I'm not sure.
I didn't catch,
Yeah,
but
I didn't catch that.
there's definitely different
Breathtaking
looking
if you
characters
look
in this.
at
So
the graphics,
either
it's
it's
stunning.
maybe a roster of characters that you swap between,
Mhm.
or it's create a character and they're showing
the
off some of
story
the
must be
different
good.
customization options we get.
I mean,
But I mean, this looks really cool. I thought I saw like the little gauntlet parry that we usually get in Onimusha, which is why I thought it was Onimusha
Right,
at one
right,
point. But I mean, I'm just as happy with the Neo 3. Like,
Yeah.
I loved me some Neo 1 and 2. I still need to go back and finish 2. Was playing that one co-op with my partner, and we got distracted by other shiny things.
There are a lot of games. A lot of
There's
games
so
coming
many.
out. Oh yeah, so it says in Neo 3, the protagonist
many
is a
other
young
games,
warrior
yeah.
poised to become the next shogun. Why is he dedicated to battling against yokai? We'll save those details for another day. I guess
mean,
they're.
probably
He
'cause
doesn't
they're
even
bad,
know
right?
yet.
Why is he fighting all these monsters that are trying to kill him? Crazy.
Don't
makes-
just leave
makes
him
you
there.
wonder.
Kill him
Yeah.
if you can. It's
Uh,
your job.
Yeah, so that's cool. We did get a little bit of a ghost of Yote.
Yes.
Yeah.
Teeny tiny. We got a dog snarling.
And
I thought the dog was going to talk. Did you?
so I know they have.
That would have been
Let's
awesome.
go.
Max, you have a dog. I know they have dog toothbrushes now. I think they didn't back then.
They
that,
didn't.
Or that
That's-
dog just ate blood.
I think that's a wolf.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
They're all evolved from each other.
I was able
It's a
to
very
figure that
large
much.
dog. No, I don't know. I'm excited for this one. I feel like I'm trying to just
So you were
deliberately.
expecting like a Scooby-Doo voice to kick in?
Yeah, this one. Are you gonna be able to do like the Far Cry thing where you send the dog in to go bite people for you? Like I hope so.
Yeah, I
think
hope
that'd
so.
be cool.
I'm
That would
hoping
be cool.
I'm hoping it just kind of like also has auto commands where sometimes like mid combo like finishers, the wolf will just kind of come in and bite somebody's leg.
My
and
dog
just,
has
like,
auto
yank you.
commands where he comes in and pees on the furniture. Which
There you
is,
go.
That's yeah. He's a puppy still. I'm just gonna say that. But,
But
no,
yeah.
I guess I'm relieved we're not seeing more of this. Again, I'm like kind of on blackout. Like I'm like, yeah, I want to play this game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's gonna be dope. Like the last one was phenomenal, and that came out on the tail end of PS4. This is from the
Right?
ground up for PS5. Like I feel like this is gonna be really one of those just milestone tech demos of what this
It's an
console could
epic
do.
game.
This is a Sony
Also-
first party studio.
We live in an era where I don't really trust release dates, and seeing this today made me go, okay, maybe I believe this one. Like, just a little check-in and like, hey, we'll be back soon with more, and then you'll get to play it in October, makes me go, oh, they're committed. They're actually going to ship this game this year. It's going to come out, and we're going to play it. That's awesome. I don't feel the same about a lot of stuff we've seen today and that we might see this week or this summer, but Ghost of Yote, and this, don't clip this out and put it in your YouTube video when I'm wrong. Ghost of Yote is probably going to come out in October.
Oh my God, we're doomed.
I know, we're screwed.
This is my one prediction I got right today about the show. We get a small tease about it, and then we're going to get a full showcase later this year.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for that. I'm sure we'll be talking about it a lot more on Beyond as we get closer and closer, especially once that
even it's like a small snippet, like even
showcase
like a small
pops
trailer.
up. So
they
I
don't
rolled
even give
credits
us a
on
lot
Assassin's
of
Creed
detail.
Shadow a few weeks ago, and
And
take
it's
a nice
just
little
like
break from games like that, and then I want to replay Ghost of Tsushima right before Ghost of Yote comes out, because it feels right. And I realize I never finished the Monkey Island stuff, the Iki Island stuff. Yeah. So I want to go back.
Very good DLC. Very good.
That's cool. So let's talk about what we're sad wasn't there. What was the
Wolverine?
Wolverine. Yeah.
I mean, he didn't even show up in the Marvel game where he should have showed up. So
Right.
he didn't make any appearances today.
I think that was probably intentional. They were like, we don't want them to think Wolverine is just going somewhere else right now. He's still here at Insomniac.
He's still in Insomniac.
He's in our house.
He's been there for 4 years in that bar, and they won't let him out.
Pounding shots the whole time.
Blacked out drunk. Just let him out.
Let
him fight
okay,
people.
so Jada, what was missing for you? What was the?
I mean, we talked about it a little bit before the show. The God of War rumors and stuff would have been really cool to see something new from Sony Santa Monica. It's been a little bit since we got Ragnarok. Obviously, we got the amazing Valhalla DLC not last year, 2 years ago, right? At this point, which tons of content there. But would have loved to see that. And then, I'm going to take Brian's, but obviously we didn't see the Resident Evil 9. I'll give you the jump off point. We didn't see any Resident Evil today.
I want to say the night is young on that one.
That's
right?
true.
Like,
yes,
I feel,
we said earlier. Yeah.
I feel like there's plenty of opportunities for Resident Evil 9 to show up in the next week.
Okay.
Less so for God of War 2.5D Metroidvania Greece spinoff. I feel like if it's not in a PlayStation State of Play, then where, right? Not a great title.
You said
Fix that title.
You said Grease, and I instantly went to
go
like
work
the
on your
old
video, have an amazing
the 1950s John Travolta.
Yeah, John Travolta. I don't know why. I put it
A musical.
a musical God of War. Why not?
I think Kratos getting sent to the 1950s could be.
I would play a Travolta.
It just fights a car.
Right?
No, so it feels like that one's. If it's real, I mean, it's based on rumors, right?
Yeah, it's all
It's not
rumors.
like it's confirmed or anything like that. So it feels like that's a thing we could see soon, but I don't think we'll see it this week. Again, don't put that in your YouTube video when it's wrong.
Yeah. John, what was missing for you?
I thought we'd see the Housemark thing.
Oh, sorry.
It's already said.
Yeah. I mean, I think you guys are both hitting a similar thing. Is this felt light on PlayStation stuff?
The first party stuff, yeah.
We haven't seen a lot of that, and I think this is a symptomatic of two things. And one is AAA stuff takes forever to make. It takes so long. And the other thing is, I don't know, about 5 years ago, someone was like, we should make 16 live service games, or 12, or however many it was.
Oh, you know
I think it was 16 and then 12. But or 12.
Oh yeah, where was Marathon?
Yeah, no Marathon.
Yeah.
Considering how close it is and how many other games from September were in this showcase, it was, I mean, maybe they'll do a separate marathon-specific showcase, but it was conspicuous by its absence.
Yeah.
Bungie is pretty good about doing their own streams and setting up their own streams. They've done a ton for Destiny 2 over the last.
But given that they're the most significant acquisition that Sony has done,
in
a long time, you'd think that there'd be a lot more fanfare around it.
No, I feel like we got some good stuff. Again, it was like reasonable things, like to have release dates, and suddenly this fall is looking a lot more interesting and a lot busier, to be honest.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad, but again, it's kind of like we come into these things, this like spirit of E3 being like, I want to get excited, I want to get all hyped up about things that we hadn't heard of, and there were a few really cool surprises in here. But yeah, it was kind of measured, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really liked the State of Play.
It was solid.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was like I said at the top of the show, right? Like it didn't really. Usually these things have like this sort of 5-7 minute stretch where I'm just not into it. And there was like one or two VR things back to back that I was kind of like, okay, sure. But for the most part, like I'm gonna play 20 out of 20 of the 5 games I saw today, and that's a pretty good batting average. Would I have liked to see more first party stuff from Sony? Absolutely. Also, I'm predicting that re-release of the Astro controller comes with a Steam code, and that game's coming to Steam. But that's my weirdest prediction.
My prediction on that is it's going to be a DualSense Edge for Astro.
Oh,
that's the twist. It's coming back, but it's going to be in the form of a DualSense Edge.
So it'll be more expensive,
Yes.
less batteries, but just as cute.
What if it's a PlayStation Portal?
Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
would be really cool.
It could-
I've already got
yeah.
the 30th anniversary one, so I can't afford. I can't have 2 portals.
Yeah, you say that, but when you call into our show from home, you have like 15 controllers behind you. So
get more controllers.
I like controllers. They're pretty.
Okay. Well, it's hard to play the games without them. You know, that's true. Yeah, this was fun. Thank you all for hanging out and talking about this. That is about all the time we have for today, but there is still plenty more going on this week. Friday, you will not want to miss Summer Games Fest, which you can catch right here on IGN. You probably would want to meet them, but all the games are great fun. They come out to have a good party, and we're gonna have some cool stuff going on right after that. And of course, Saturday and Sunday are IGN Live, which is our big, huge in-person event taking place in downtown Los Angeles at the Magic Box at the Reef. Come hang out. We're going to be streaming all of that, but if you can make the trip, we'd love it if you could come see us. Tickets are available at ign.com/live. So if it's not too much of a hassle to get there, we hope we can see you there. And if you use the code PLAY, you can get a special discount. Thank you for hanging out and watching us talk about PlayStation games. We had a good time. We hope you did too. We will see you next time.
That's pretty
Have a good night.
awesome, Chuck.
Beyond.
Loved it. It was pretty epic. So thank you everybody who came out and
They
watched
said
the State
it's
of
just a
Play,
game.
watch play party, reaction, live react with me, chat.
said
I had an absolute blast reacting live with you all to the big
But our
reveals that we're
spirit
gonna see
doesn't die.
this year. What an incredible showcase! Let me know in the comment section down below what were your favorite game announcements or surprises from the broadcast. There were so many hype moments. I can't wait to hear what stood out to you the most. Make sure to check out their broadcast. They said they're going to be live all week on IGN channel on YouTube. So check them out. This is the PlayStation Showcase. So if you have a PlayStation or you're a fan of PlayStation, this is the place to be. I'm excited we could do some live reactions. We were just live on YouTube. So if you guys want to see us do more live broadcasts just on YouTube, let me know also in the comment section. Or if you guys want to see us do on other sites, let me know as well, because we can be live on other places as well, TikTok, Noise, and other things as well. So thank you all. Have a great rest of your evening, chat, and we'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. EST for some Expedition 33.
IGN Summer of Gaming is
Take
presented
care
by
and enjoy.
Mind's
Bye.
Pre-order now. Hey, what are you doing on June 7th and 8th? If you